Did this religious tolerance and the principle of separation between church and state, did that extend to non-Christians or even to non-Protestants?
That's a good question. As far as non-Christians, I don't really know. I did some research prior to speaking to you today, and I couldn't really find anything in my research that spoke to Jackson's reflections on what role non-Christians would play in his belief system. As far as non-Protestants, Jackson does believe in religious tolerance. And so I want to share with you a letter that he wrote in 1835. And this comes from Tom Cohen's at the Andrew Jackson Papers, who shared this with me. So this is a letter that Jackson wrote to Ellen Hansan. Ellen Hansan wrote Jackson this letter talking about the rumors that Jackson was someone who was supporting Catholicism, that he was someone who was encouraging the Catholic immigration into the United States, which was a big issue that was starting up in the 1830s. So Jackson writes back to Ellen Hansan, who had written on behalf of her grandmother. And I won't read the entire thing, but I'll read the pertinent part. So he writes, quote, "I was brought up a rigid Presbyterian, to which I've always adhered. Our excellent Constitution guarantees to everyone freedom of religion. And charity tells us, and you know charity is the real basis of all true religion, and charity says, judge the tree by its fruit. All who profess Christianity believe in a Savior, and that by and through him we must be saved. We ought therefore to consider all good Christians whose works correspond with this professions, be him Presbyterian, Episcopalian, Baptist, Methodist, or Roman Catholic. Let it be always remembered by your grandmother that no established religion can exist under our glorious Constitution." So this letter, to me, in many ways, sums up Jackson's perspective religiously at that point in his life. He is someone who practiced religious toleration, at least for all Christians. He is someone who had a very core belief in what his Christianity meant, and he understood or believed that the role of religion within the United States was something that existed under the purview of the Constitution, but without government interference. So as far as his religious toleration of other Christians who were not Protestant, yes, I definitely think he believed that. As far as those who were not Christian, it's hard for me to say, unfortunately.